These are the Sunday recommendations for my free email list for February the 2nd, 2020. Happy Wednesday. The blog post this week is on the bridges of Central Park. All those charming bridges in the southern part of Central Park were a later addition to the Greensward Plan. This blog post explains why. The video is from a future project by Guides Who Know. I've chosen the second, third, and fourth recommendations because they're related to things that I know Ayn Rand liked as expressed in her writings. So the second one is videos of Bill Bojangles Robinson doing his famous stair dance, a tap dance. In the solo version from 1918, the sheer imaginative variety of steps is astonishing, and the version in which he does it with Shirley Temple is also really very charming. Ayn Rand wrote that tap dancing, quote, is singularly appropriate to America and distinctly un-European. Its best exponents are Bill Robinson and Fred Astaire, who combines it with some elements of the ballet. End of quote. That's from the Romantic Manifesto. Third recommendation, Erle Stanley Gardner's The Case of the Careless Kitten from 1942. Ayn Rand described Gardner's mysteries as always reliably entertaining. That was in the favorite writers column from the Ayn Rand column. I read dozens of his mysteries when I was in high school, and it's typical that they were fun, but I can't remember my favorite. The Case of the Curious Kitten, which I just reread, is unusual for its rare excursion into legal philosophy. District Attorney Hamilton Berger complains that Mason tries to solve cases rather than letting the police do it, and Mason explains why he sometimes has to. Quote, the public has sat idly by and let the organized prosecutors amend the law until the constitutional guarantees of the public were swept away. We're living in a period of changing times. It's quite possible that the definition of crime will be broadened to include things which we might at present list in the category of political crimes. When the ordinary citizen is dragged into court, he'll find that the cards have been stacked against him. Ostensibly, they were stacked against the professional criminal by organized public servants, but actually they've been stacked against Mr. and Mrs. Ordinary Citizen, because the whole legal procedure has been completely undermined. It's time for citizens to wake up to the fact that it isn't a question of whether a man is guilty or innocent, but whether his guilt or innocence can be proved under a procedure which leaves the citizen the legal rights to which he is entitled under a constitutional government. End of that long quote. A few years after this novel was published, Gardner, who was a former lawyer, began writing a true crime column in which he called on private detectives, police, forensic specialists, and others to examine the cases of convicts who maintained their innocence long after the appeals court was exhausted. The book that was based on those columns was called The Court of Last Resort, and it won Gardner his only Edgar Award and was turned into a TV series. The fourth recommendation this week is a movie from the 1940s with an actor that Ayn Rand liked. DianeDuranteWriter.com has hundreds of posts on sculpture, painting, Central Park, and my many other obsessions. To join the free Sunday recommendations list, visit the URL online or email me. And you can say, well done, Diane, or support my work and receive rewards by means of the tip jar on DianeDuranteWriter.com. Thank you as always for listening, and have a happy Wednesday.